Hello everybody, my name's Gill from GillyMac Designs, and today I'm going to be continuing on my journey testing out the Janome Horizon Memory Craft 9480 QC Professional. So today I'm going to be focusing on some of the zipper applications. So I know a lot of people get a bit nervous about putting zips in, and I wanted to test out how good the applications were to help me put in a zip. So I'm going to put in a concealed zip and I'm going to put in a pouch zip today. So I tested out, just to be absolutely sure, the concealed zip yesterday, and it was brilliant. I'm going to show you now how it looks, and then we'll go to the machine and we'll look at where the applications are again and then how you access them. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do a concealed zip and then we'll do a pouch zip, just like that. So here's the piece I did yesterday with my concealed zipper in. So you can't see it at all. I'm so pleased with this. And then if I just open it up, you can see the zipper is put in absolutely perfectly. So we're going to do a zipper like this, and then we're going to do, I've got a pouch here that needs to be made up. I'll just show you this. So it's just a really fun little pouch. So I need to put the zipper in the middle. I've got my back and my front, and I've got my two lining pieces, and I've got my zip. So we're going to put the zip in this, and we're going to put a zip in a similar piece, just like this. So one concealed zip, one normal zip, all done through applications, two applications on the Memory Craft 9480. Okay, so home screen, we want to go to applications. And then we want to go to the concealed zipper, and that's in the additional applications here. I'm going to go on to the next page, and here, concealed zipper. So let's have a look here. Now it's starting off with normal, or my zigzag foot, which is A. And then I move to a basting stitch, which is still A. And then I go to the right of the teeth, which is my zipper foot, my concealed zipper foot. And I'm going to show you that foot. It's not one that comes with the machine, but it's an additional one you can buy, and I use mine a lot. And then left side of the zipper, let's see what foot we need there. We need E. Next page. Right side of the zipper, we need E. And then left side of the teeth, we need back to that zipper foot. So we know we need our foot A, our foot E, and our foot Z. Z is the one that is the concealed zipper foot. Okay, and we're going to work through. What you do is you work through, so it's always telling you to change your feet. You work through the application. Okay, so the first one is you're going to come down from the bottom of your piece, and you're going to sew up, and you sew at 2 centimeters. You sew up from the bottom, and when you get to your mark, I'll explain your mark in a second, you then go up and you continue doing a basting stitch up to the top. Okay, after that you're going to add in your zipper on the right side, and then you are going to sew down your tape. Now I started to change the way I did this a little bit, and I moved between it. I think I did my right side of my teeth, and then I did the zipper tape on the right side, and then I moved over. But let's see, we'll try and do it their way and we'll see. Okay, and then you do the right side of the tape, and then finally you open up and you put in the left, you sew in the left side of your teeth. So let's see if we can get this working. Right, so here's my materials. So I've got 2 pieces of denim I'm going to sew together, and then I'm going to put a concealed zip in the middle. I have measured down the distance of the zip, but I've marked 2 inches above there. So I'll just make sure these are the same. 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is create a line of stitching all the way up. But what I do is I do my first line, which is, if you like, a normal stitch, and then I do a basting stitch above here. And the instruction manual tells you to do that at a seam allowance of 2 centimeters. So we'll do that first. So if I put this one on top of this one, leave the zip for now. I've transferred those marks to the back. I'm not going to worry about pins, because this is not, it's quite a stable bit of material, and it's not very big, is it? So we're going to sew like this. we're going to start off, so a 2 centimetre seam allowance, come up with our first part of the application and then swap over to the basting part of the application. Let's do that first. Okay, first job is lockmatic stitch. So that's one that's going to do backwards, forwards, and then it's going to go up and do backwards, forwards when we press the reverse button, backwards, forwards at the end. And we're going from the bottom of our garment, our pretend garment, up to our mark, and we're using a 2 centimetre seam allowance. Next, we're going to go on to our basting stitch, and we've still got our stitch foot A, so that's right, so we've got the right foot attached. And this basting stitch, you can see it just carries on from where we were. It's just a much longer stitch, and it's still at 2 centimetres seam allowance. And we go up, that's going to be in the area, that basting stitch is in the area of where your zipper is going to be. So here are the 3 feet we're going to use. We're going to use the zigzag foot, foot A. We're going to use the concealed zipper foot, which is foot Z. And we're going to use our trusty faithful normal zipper foot, foot E. Okay, so we're going to start off with the lockmatic stitch. And we're going to sew up from the bottom of our garment to where we want to put the zip in. And we're going to sew up to our mark. And we're going to sew at 2 centimetres. Nearly at my mark here. Okay, and I'm just going to tell it I'm at its mark, and it just does a little back stitch there for me. Okay, so all I did there was just press the back stitch button, and because it's on the lockmatic stitch, which starts with a backwards and forwards and ends in a backwards and forwards, the machine just needs to know when you're going to stop, and you just press the backwards button and it will then do your little backwards. So now I'm going to move on to the basting stitch. I'm just going to put my needle up. Basting stitch. Okay, it's asking me, have I got the right foot attached, which I do. And then off we go again, carry on all the way up to the top. So this one you should see is a much bigger stitch. Still trying to keep my 2 centimetre seam allowance. I know I'm going off a bit, it's a bit tricky with the older camera. Okay, good enough. So I'm just going to press that open and then we'll be good to go. So you can see I've got the much tighter stitch at the bottom, and then I've got this basting stitch at the top. So I'll open those out, press the seam open, and then we'll get going. Okay, now we put on the zipper foot, so foot Z, the concealed zipper foot. And here, can you see, not only does it tell you that you've got to put on foot Z, also tells you that the zipper foot has 2 little channels, and it's telling you which channel the zipper should go into. So it's the leftmost channel, and that's really, really useful, because when you're sitting there wondering which channel to put it in, this tells you immediately what you've got to do. So let's sew that side of the zip down. Okay, so this is where we are now, and we need to do 2 things to get ourselves ready for the next step. We fold this side back underneath. So let's just do that. So we flip this, holding your seam allowance, flip this back. So now I've only got the seam allowance here, nothing else. And here I've got 2 layers of my right sides together. Then, I'm just going to stick that in here so it doesn't move. Then I need my zip. Here's my zip, and I want to have it right sides down. So I'm going to flip it over. So this is the right side. And I flip it over. I want it right sides down, and you want to open it out. Okay. And like I've just shown you, the machine actually tells you even which part of the zipper you're going to use. So here we go. I'm going to pop that in here. And you remember it showed us that we were going to use the left hole, or the left tunnel. So I'm just going to pop my foot down. Make sure I find this positioning really important at the beginning. And then my job, I don't have to pin it. My job is just to hold these teeth so they're really close to this edge. I just want to help it by just opening up this little zipper to begin with. So that went through beautifully. Sometimes the little plastic stop at the top can just cause you to need to lift up the foot and just realign and then pop the foot back down. But we were lucky. Okay, just going to keep this the zipper teeth right on that fold. Can you see the nose of my concealed zipper is just pushing these teeth out? I'm going to keep going, keep making sure. And here's my mark. So and then here I'm just going to do a little backwards. Okay, let's have a look at the next step. Okay, next thing is we've got to sew the left side of the tape. So here we have to change our foot to be a foot E, so our normal zipper foot. And what we're doing now, this is, it confused me too the first time I did it, but we're actually sewing the left side, so not the side of the tape that we've just sewn, you know, really close to the zipper and secured it. We're sewing the other side of the zip, so the other side of the tape, the left side of the tape, and we're sewing it just on the edge, just to hold the tape. And the reason this is done is later on you'll see that when we do our very last step, which is sewing the left side of the zip is in a secure place because we're attaching it now, and it's very easy to do the last step. So when we're doing going down the sewing down the side of the tape, we're only going to go down to our mark and then do a little back stitch. So our job now is I've folded the fabric, so I've got almost the mirror image of what I had a moment ago. Here both right sides are folded to that side. I've only got the seam allowance here. I've got my normal zipper foot on, and I'm just going to sew the zipper tape down here. Now, the first time I did this, when I was doing my practice bit, I broke a needle because you see the little zipper pull that's at the top. It's quite a little fiddly thing, and because you can't see it, it's quite easy to get it in the way, so just be a bit careful there. I was a bit cross with myself. Okay, next we're going to do the right side of the tape. So we keep on the foot E and we just move over, and we're going to do the right side of the tape. So that's the side of the tape that we've already got the zipper attached. Again, we're only going to go down to where our mark is. We're not going to go right down to the bottom of the zip. So again, this time I've just folded it back like we had to begin with, my double fold here, and I've just got I only got my seam allowance here, and then I'm just going to do that sewing on the zipper tape. You can see that the needle's already moved over to the right side for me. Okay, then finally this one here, so we need to put our zipper foot back on, and can you see it's telling us to use the other channel now. Now what we need to do here is we need to undo our basting stitches and pull down the zip, and we're going to push the zipper pull right down to the bottom of its stop, so below where we can see it, so it's tucked into the fabric, and that allows us to completely sew the concealed edge in properly without the zipper being in the way, which can be a real nuisance. So let's do that, and that's our final step. So this is where we are. I've got the basting stitches out, I've pushed the the little zipper pull down underneath here. You can see that this side is attached properly, this side needs some work. If I turn it over so you can see, we've got our left side attached. You can see the stitches underneath. You maybe just see the stitches underneath the coil, and we've got it attached at the edge of the tape. With the right side is attached at the edge of the tape, but it's not attached here. So that's what we're going to work on now. So we want to just work on this side, but not going through to the front. So we only want to work on the seam allowance. So we're going to push the seam allowance, push the rest of the body of the work over, like we've done before. And now all we're going to do is move this out of the way. And remember, the application has told me which hole to use here. So I'm just going to pop this down. And then we just sew again. Down as I can, and then back. Okay, and that should be it. Let's have a look. Okay, so here are the two sides. I've literally just flipped this over. I just want to push that zipper, pull it up, or pull it up so it's in the right place. What do you think of that? How cool's that? I mean, isn't that incredible? You cannot see where that zipper is. Well, I think that's a win. Let's have a look at the other application I want to show you, which is the pouch zip, which is nice and quick. Okay, let's try another application. So this time I want to do, I think it's in this one. I think it's in sewing, and go along. We want to do a pouch zip here. So it's where you've got a front and a back, two external pieces, sort of a front and a back, and then you've got two lining pieces, and you want to put a zip in the middle of them, because later on you'll then go on and make up the pouch. So let's do that. Let's have a look. So we'll go through the steps. So we need foot E, which is our zipper foot. Let's have a look. We need foot E for our zipper foot. Foot E. Foot E, so, and that's us. So we've only got 4 bits of stitches. So we want to sew the right side from the back, so the back left side, and then we want to do the top stitching on the front side and the top stitching on the left side. So why don't we do that? Okay, so we're just going to go through these stitches. I won't bother coming back to the machine this time. So sew back right, sew back left, top stitch left, top stitch right, and it's all with a foot E. Right, start at the beginning. So you may find it useful if I just show you the order. So you have the external piece facing up, you have your zip facing down. I tend to use larger zips, so zip facing down, okay, and then you've got your piece of lining facing down. Okay, now you have to have all of these aligned at the top and on the sides, and I'm going to clip along here. So I'm on my first one, which is sew back right side. So it starts with a reverse, automatic reverse. Okay, so that's one side done. Now I'm just going to open this up and flip this bit over. And then I'm almost going to pretend like the zip's not there, okay? Sorry, the extra piece isn't there. And I'm just going to do exactly the same. So I've got my reverse side. So I've got my outside at the back. I'm going to put the zip facing down, just like I did previously. Okay. Just want to line all this up so it's nice and neat. And then I'm going to put my lining facing down on top. And I'm going to be sewing along this top edge here, so this edge here, and I'm going to clip it first. Make sure you line everything up really nicely at the top and at the sides. So I've just moved on to sew back left side. So in this case, put it up here, pop it in. Okay, let's move on to the next bit. So the next bit is top stitch left side. So here you want to be pulling your pieces out so they fit really nicely, and the lining is pulled really nicely and taut at the back. And then this is all set up now to just do my top stitching. And just like that, so that's so simple. You have your zipper attached and top stitched in place. Yeah, really great. So easy, so simple, and the stitches are adjusted. So they're the perfect stitches for top stitching and for piecing. Love it. So I'm just going to finish off this pouch now. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at a couple of the zipper applications on this machine. The applications function seems to me to put a whole load of sewing knowledge into some very simple steps and allows you to complete things really professionally, very quickly, as long as you just follow along with the applications. I'm thrilled with my pouch, but I'm particularly thrilled with how beautiful the concealed zip looks and how easy that was to put in. So until we sew again, see you soon.